How important is the first kiss in a romantic comedy?
It is maybe the most important moment, followed closely by the one towards the end where the two people realize and admit to each other their love for each other. But that first kiss, wow, that's amazing. That's when you're standing on the threshold of paradise. And that's when you know whether or not it's going to work. Because if that kiss does not transport your characters, does not turn on all the lights and all the bells and whistles and the fireworks and all that people talk about in poetry and literature for thousands and thousands of years, if that's not there, there's no story. There's no story. So building up to the first kiss, you need to have that tension, that push-pull, so that when you get there and the positive and the negative come together, sparks do fly.
Thinking of Pretty Woman, so there's the implication of sex. There's definitely the, you know, the sort of the agreement, the business arrangement. But I'm trying to remember, does that actually happen until they actually have the first kiss and actually feel something for one another?
That's when it happens.
Okay.
Is at that first kiss.
Right.
Yes. Now, I think they've been feeling comradeship. They've been feeling admiration. They've been having fun. They've been finding that they do agree on some things and not others. And so there is an affinity. There's definitely an affinity. And you're right, they presumably have been having sex. And she's a pro. So, okay, you figure it's got to be pretty good. But that moment of actually kissing is when the magic really starts to happen. And that also, now remember, she was a professional escort. There is a reason why among people who are sex workers, there's no kissing allowed. Because that creates a, let's say, an energetic, electrical, etheric, esoteric connection between people that really does something. It can change everything.
It seems like, too, with those two characters, once they got out of their roles, because his role was of the, here I'm going to pay you and you're kind of beneath me and I'm this prestigious businessman, and she's like, oh, who do you think you are? And I've seen guys like you, you're a dime a dozen. But once they got out of those identities and they became real, that's when it seemed like the real kiss and the real sort of relationship happened, because they stopped being their element, sort of.
Yeah, that's a good point. When they just became themselves and not the masks and not the costumes.
Oh, I like that. I like that. The mask, yeah.
There's a wonderful line in Jerry Maguire before they have sex the first time, and he says, you know, sex changes everything. And she says, oh, I hope so.
And what I love too is the sister, and I want to talk about that. The sister in Jerry Maguire, and the wonderful scene where she's having her women's group. And he comes in and you can just tell there's a few women in the crowd that maybe look at him with endearing eyes, but there are just daggers pointed his way. And just the Jiminy Cricket friend, either the one that's either trying to talk them out of it or the one that's trying to talk them into the relationship. I want to talk about that role of the third person that sort of either tries to bring them together or separate them.
When I first started selecting films for the book, Ken Lee, publisher, said, you have to include Trainwreck. And I went, Trainwreck? I wouldn't even go see that. I said, oh, why would I want, no, this is about people's relationships getting better. You don't want to see Trainwreck. He said, go see Trainwreck. I could not believe it. It's really good, and it has in it the qualities of joy and dignity and passion and integrity. I was so surprised. Now, one of the reasons it does is because the Jiminy Cricket character, the best friend, is LeBron James. Okay, that works. And he is best friends with Bill Hader, and he sees something in Amy Schumer. He sees what she can be, and he convinces the two of them to get back together and to admit their feelings for each other. So that's a wonderful instance of that, a different kind of love triangle that you've pointed out, where you've got the lovers and then that third person who helps them see what it is that they have or what they could have.
Let's say when the third person is actually trying to prevent them from being together. Because it's like if you take Pretty Woman, and I forget his name, but you know, George Costanza's character on Seinfeld, the one that's his business partner in Pretty, and he's kind of this negative force and sort of antagonizing them. So that third person as the one that's trying to prevent them from being together.
Yes, you need the third person either helping them because they're not wanting to get together, or, as you described, trying to keep them apart. You need that for dramatic tension. And also, we need the secondary characters to help tell us things about the main characters. So they can make those statements, you know, when you say, oh, well, I can't have him saying that. He'd never say that about himself. Well, give the line to his friend. Or give the line to her friend who says, oh, have you no idea what this guy's like? So the third character, yes, is very, very important in any script. All of the secondary characters need somehow to be showing us something about the main characters, or they don't need to be there. Now, whether it's they are people that the main characters do something to, or with, or for, but they are there to service the main characters in the storytelling.